So, wouldn't it be cool if someone who knows how to hack shit takes the proprietary software and is able to break it apart, get the source code of the everything in it, and creates an entirely new software? Yeah, I know that sounds impossible, but one can dream. Anyways, on to the actual subject of the video. I'm gonna attempt to make this a short video because, again, I really need to learn to keep things to the bloody point. But here is the longest story short of this whole matter. FX Home is shutting down on January 25th of this year. That is quite the gut punch. For those not in the know, FX Home are like the OG people that kind of created HitFilm, i.e. my main editing software for my creative projects. Now, while this is very sad news, there are some level of good news that comes about with it. For existing HitFilm users that already have the software installed, are able to keep HitFilm, and are able to install it in new computers just as long as they have the installation files. Those that stuck with the perpetual license of HitFilm Pro and have the older versions of HitFilm Express are intact. Those that have the free license of the current HitFilm and paid for HitFilm Creator will be fine. I cannot say the same for those that paid for the subscription base for HitFilm Pro. Luckily, a post on the HitFilm subreddit might be able to help minimize that issue. Hopefully. Not only that, but they're also keeping archives of almost every installer of HitFilm, from Express to even HitFilm Pro, as well as some things that help us get some of the versions of HitFilm Pro for free. Now, if you want more information about the shutdown, I'd recommend HitFilm University's videos on the matter, as well as JHX64's videos on it. Sorry, I had trouble reading that username. Now, while I am going to continue using HitFilm for my fanime works, because, let's face it, I'm proud of how Moon Mansion Solitary came out, visually, at least some parts of it, I have looked into alternatives for those that want to make their own fanime, but cannot really use HitFilm because the site is shut down, and unless you already have HitFilm, you can't. And while I already tried something like Shotcut, Lightworks, Natron, I cannot pronounce that. Anyways, that software, and I tried to attempt working with Cavalry, they all kind of don't fit the same bill that I am looking for when it comes to video editing software of my needs. And yeah, I know that CapCut and Filmora do exist, but I'm a little bit iffy about those two, if you catch my drift. Windows Movie Maker is for sure a classic, but not what I want to do in the current era. Clipchamp sucks, thanks Microsoft. And while I tried to use these three in the past, I do not care for Sony Vegas, VSDC Free Video Editor, or OpenShot. I have tried to install DaVinci Resolve, but due to the fact that it is very processor intensive and neither of my currently in use laptops have a powerful processor, it is a no-go for me, and it is not really worth the agony that I've been through in trying to get it to work. I say only get DaVinci if you have a computer, laptop or otherwise, that has a good processor. Otherwise, don't! With that said though, not all hope is lost, because I have tested out using Olive Video Editor 0.1, specifically for the lion boil technique with the ripple effect, and Kdenlive. I have used the former for testing my specific need, and it's unsupported because 0.2 is out, which I am not exactly a fan of the note system, but that's just me. The latter, on the other hand, it's actually a pretty good software, and I honestly recommend using it, whether you care for Olive's ripple effect or not. By the way, I have a tutorial on how I did the effect in the Google Doc, link in the description. And hell, if you want to get into video editing in general in the year of our King of Town 2025, then I recommend Kdenlive. Well, if you're a desktop user, I don't know if there's gonna be a mobile version of it anytime soon. As I said though, I am going to continue using HitFilm for my projects, since the fact that I could still use it post-shutdown, it should be fine. I just want to give y'all a heads up as well as giving some alternatives. And don't you worry, I have the installer for HitFilm archived in my external hard drive. My autism would not let me archive this as well as other things I could archive. And while I am gonna try my best not to be as harsh with them in this video, that is for my social media, I will say that I do not like Artlist. The fact that they got rid of the ability to register so new users can't really immediately download HitFilm before the shutdown, not gonna lie, it's rather scummy. And I know some people are gonna say like, oh hey, maybe HitFilm doesn't have much value anymore because, you know, the software sucks. Well, I have the installer of Adobe Flash CS4 in my arsenal. The point is rather moot to me. Also, there's a whole ass website dedicating for archiving stuff like old art programs and old abandoned animation software and all the likes. Now granted, it has not been active since 2022, but you know, it exists, so therefore your point is still moot. But yeah, it's really upsetting that Artlist is kind of just getting rid of the ability to register to FX Home, and new users cannot really get HitFilm before shutdown. Ugh. But as I said though, there are archives of HitFilm, and also, you know, there are archives of some of the means of getting the previous version of HitFilm Pro for free. I'm just saying. But yeah, despite my bitching, despite like me being a little bit mad at Artlist, and despite the fact that like people are a little bit too negative about the whole situation, I am glad that I'm able to keep HitFilm, and you know, there are archives that exist, and there are much like user-friendly options like Kdenlive, with a dash of 0.1 of olive. I hope you find this video informative, and I'll see you all next time when I make a video that's a little bit more happy compared to this, maybe. I'll see y'all next time.